Mamdani is currently in the West Wing, we are learning. And at the moment, this is closed to press. And we are waiting to see if they're going to open this up to press. But I kind of was like, you know what? Let me just actually go to me. I was like, maybe they'll open it up. Maybe they won't. But I kind of like to live stream every now and then. And so we can just live stream for a couple of minutes and see if it goes live. If not, then we've hung out and hello. But hi, everyone. We are waiting to see if Donald Trump will open this up to press. They are saying that Donald Trump is not going to do it because he doesn't want to be outwitted on camera by Zohran Mamdani, but we will see if that remains to be true. I am watching this live stream. I mean, here, look, we are watching this intensely to see if anything comes from this, and we will know soon. But from what we understand is that Donald Trump and Zohran Mamdani are currently both in the White House. We just do not at the moment we do not know yet if that is going to be on camera or not. So we are here, and let me just show you this. So Donald Trump was actually interviewed about this during a podcast with Brian Kilmeade, and he does not understand the speech that Zohran Mamdani actually gave on the night he won the election. And so let's listen to this speech, which, by the way, was awesome. And then let's listen to Donald Trump not fully getting why he said what he said. And if this goddamn audio doesn't work, I'm sorry, we'll figure it out. But I think the audio is going to work.
So, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Can I just say it's still so good. I mean, I know we've heard it a million times, but it's still so good.
We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants.
Yeah. Okay. So Donald Trump was asked about this moment. This old man didn't understand it.
So I know sometimes when you go to sit down with you, Mr. President, sometimes you'll whip out a list and you'll say, did you say this about me in the past? I know Piers Morgan has said that. This is something that might be on your list that he said about you after he won, by the way. Cut 3.
This is not only how we stop Trump.
We just heard it.
It's
Sorry.
how we stop the next one. So, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
So it was a little bit of an in-your-face when a time he should usually, after a victory speech, be kind of magnanimous. Your thoughts on it?
Well, I was hitting him a little hard, too, in all fairness. It was, hard to be totally friendly toward the opponent. His opponent wasn't. He had some interesting opponents. But he ran a good race. I don't know exactly what he means by turn the volume up, because turn the volume up, he has to be careful when he says that to me. But nobody really was able. I said, what does that mean, turn the volume up? Does that mean let's go at it?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, he was very nice in calling, as you know, and we're going to have a meeting. I guess we meet at 3 o'clock today. And I think it's going to be quite civil. We'll find out. You'll be the first to.
I love that he's like, it's going to be. I mean, that's the thing. Is like, I don't see. Okay. So everyone got so upset. I mean, as they should, I suppose, because it's the President of the United States. They got very upset about the fact that Donald Trump said that it's sedition, what those 6 senators said. But I am just telling you, I really believe this in my gut, that Donald Trump is a scared piece of shit, and he just does not have the fight in his body. And he's gonna meet Zohran Mamdani, is gonna be totally civil with the guy. He's just like all bullies. He's just all words, no action. And so I really think what he was doing with that sedition thing was just trying to kick some shit up in the air so that we don't talk about the fact that the Epstein files are being released. Okay? That's how I feel. Now, the turn the volume up thing is very interesting because I actually didn't know what it meant either. I'm glad someone talked about this, because turn the volume up he says, I don't know what it means. It said most people understood that to mean that Mamdani was telling the president to turn up his TV and listen to what he and his movement had to say. But he was also saying that it was also a possible dig at Trump's aides by suggesting he's hard of hearing. All right. So and we also have, let's see here. This is New York Times reporting on the fact that they're meeting right now.
Any minute now. It was supposed to be at 3 o'clock, and we are right there. You see the huge group that is gathered on the White House complex, everybody waiting for the arrival of New York City's Democratic Socialist Mayor-elect, Zohran Mamdani. We're going to...
Okay, well, we're waiting. We are waiting, and this is more cameras waiting outside.
This guy needs...
Very exciting stuff. And then I think this is live right here. Is this playing? I think that's playing. Why is it not moving? So we are just waiting to see if this gets opened up to press. It could get opened up to press. I have no idea if it's going to or not. So we are just waiting. Now, Mamdani was, where is this? He was asked a question. I had it up. God damn it. Where'd it go? Let's see if I have to go back here. No. Was it here? No. Okay. I had to find it. Laura Loomer posted about it. Crazy Laura. Hi, everyone. By the way, I'm live streaming. Hi. All right. Here's the question.
How are you, sir?
Brother, I can tell you all I've been thinking about.
Are you worried that Trump is going to try to surprise you?
I have no idea what's being said. This audio is terrible. What the fuck? That's the quality you can expect from Laura Loomer.
How are you, sir?
Brother, I
Can you condemn socialism? I think that's what they
tell you
said.
all I've been thinking about.
Are you worried that Trump is going to try to surprise you?
Okay, yeah, wow, really great content there. Oh Lord. Okay. We are waiting to see if Zohran Mamdani actually has a press conference with Donald Trump. And we are currently a commercial. So let's go full screen. We're going to react to camera. Hi, everyone. And we'll put you guys here. Hey, Keith, we don't see your live stream very often. What do we got here? Can we talk about the Kohler era? It's because it wasn't open to press. I mean, Madonna can tell us. No, I think he will come out after the meeting happens and talk about it. So we'll be here hopefully to capture this live for sure. Yeah. So we will be, we are watching to see if that happens. We certainly don't need to listen to Katie Tour talk to us about it. Oh, should we talk about the Obama meeting while we're here? I've never talked about it. I'm actually not allowed to say a lot about it. I'm not allowed, but I did meet Obama. Can I pull up the photo? Let me see here. Look at this guy. Who's that guy? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh man, this was crazy. Absolutely insane. So it was an off the, all right. So I guess I worded it badly because everyone thought that like I interviewed Barack Obama. I did not interview him. I had an off the record conversation with the former president for like 2 hours, but I can't really talk about, I can't talk about what was said or much about the meeting itself, but I will say that he is very, 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 very lovely. And it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, it's still crazy. Why am I getting emotional? But it was still it's crazy that this picture took place. His team was like, we want to meet with Keith. Insane. Insane. No, it wasn't at Crooked. It was the day before. It was actually at his office. Let's go here. Oh God, I need a fucking. You don't have to be an asshole. Who is FMORL Productions 9282? Like, I get it. If you don't like Obama, that's great. Like, you can also just type it once. You don't have to spam my fucking chat, okay? Now I'm gonna put you in a timeout because you're acting like a child, and children get put into timeout. What an asshole. Jesus Christ. Absolutely so unnecessary. You know? Like every president is like not perfect, okay? All right, while we're here, there's 5,000 of you here, and we are waiting to see if Zohran Mamdani gets if he goes live with the president of the Oval Office. I want to just I'll poll you do you like the new thumbnails? Because I kind of feel like, here's what we do. Here's what I feel like we do with the thumbnails. Thumbnails are always so tricky. I am still my only full-time employee, just so you know. I am the currently 8th most watched political YouTube channel in the world. 8th most watched. And it is literally me, and I have some freelance editors. But it is me. I do the thumbnails, I do the titles, I upload the videos myself. So I'm hoping to hire someone eventually, okay? But I am very in this thing. But my question is like with the thumbnails, because I know y'all don't like y'all don't like clickbait, and I could give you a whole diatribe on like how I've tried a million different things, and the headlines that work are the headlines that work, but thumbnails are different. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying a thing where it's a normal picture, but I make Trump have crazy hair. I feel like that has worked. I feel like no one's mad about that yet, is that it's a normal picture, but Trump with crazy hair. And that seems to also, people click on it. And here's why I do it, is because I think we have to minimize these people. Like, again, like my whole thing with, my whole philosophy around this stuff is there's two ways you connect. You can get upset, or you can minimize them. I feel like the thing you got to do if you're dealing with someone who has a huge ego, is a narcissist, wants to be an authoritarian, is you can get upset, but you're just giving them more power. You're making them feel bigger, or you can minimize them. So I think like this is like my small little way of just like cutting Donald Trump a little bit in size and stature. Okay? It's my little thing, but I think it doesn't seem like anyone seems to mind it yet. So there you go. That is my philosophy behind the thumbnails. And I'm sorry. I will apologize. Someone clip this out. I fucking hate clickbait. I hate it. I try as best I can to have the title be the same, be what you're gonna see in the video. But I sometimes don't get it right. And then also I've tried titles where it's just like a very simple title. Doesn't work. Like it doesn't work. Y'all don't click on it. And it is more important to me that y'all see the information that I'm talking about, hearing my perspective, hearing the things that I think are important, rather than, I don't know, having a title that is less intense. Okay? So there you go. There you go to the 5,300 of you, 5,200 of you watching right now. Okay, what is this one? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go back. I guess we're just going to do an impromptu chat. Friday chat. I hate clickbait too. Okay, I'm like literally just catching. Oh my God, now y'all are. Hi Keith, I'm an apparel graphic designer. I would love to donate a couple designs for you if you ever want. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the $10, Lori. Can we get some W's in the chat? Thank you so much for God, you don't have to do that. It's very nice of you. I call it clickbait every time I come across it. Well, it's all over the place. It's all over the place. And Paloma Del Mar has been a member for 4 months. Thank you. Hi, Keith. You do great work. Love your videos. Yes to live stream. I know. Everyone hates clickbait. Everyone hates. Me too. Me too. Me too. Jack Cottarella, no adverts. I don't know what that means. You do an amazing job. Don't apologize for this. You don't need to. You wear your heart on your sleeve. Well, thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate that. And Untangled says, in this day and age, you have to get creative and sometimes bait to get the clicks. Yes, you do have to, I mean, it's an art. It's an art. God, Misunderstood gave $50. That's so nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Keith, I respect Keith because he doesn't clickbait. I mean, listen, let's just look. Sorry, now we're going to do like a YouTube diatribe, but whatever. I'm never live. But like, how do we get, okay. So like, I don't know, like if it were just me, and like, I fucking love the hair and the face. It makes me laugh. It makes me feel better. But like, if it were just me, it would be much more simple. It would be simpler. But I've tried a million different things and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I kind of feel like, do you want to be right? Do you want to win? I'm in the business of winning. I want people to see my shit. I want people to hear my perspective. I want them to see the stuff that they're not going to see anywhere else. So if that means, I don't know, making, you know, using caps and all that sort of shit, then so be it. You know what I mean? So be it, I guess. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Where did you guys go? Here you are. Okay. All right. Catching up. And let us go back to this, just in case it happens to come live while we're live. Hey, Keith. Jack Cottarella doesn't use adverts. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm not Jack Cottarella. Why are you telling me that? He certainly has advertising in his videos, so I don't understand why you keep saying that. Why do you guys keep repeating things? You can say it once. According to DTC, it's not us. It's the YouTube algorithm that is pushing the videos. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Sheila, that's very interesting. And can we, we did get more, let's see here. I can do this, I think. I don't know what I'm doing. What is this? Okay, I don't like that. No, where's the checkout? Okay. We did get more donations. So we have $10 from Raz, who said I can help with thumbnails, videos, and other graphic acts. Well, thank you, Raz. I will let you know. Actually, we got a lot of donations. Okay, thank you to everyone who's given money. That's so nice and not at all necessary, but thank you. I'm just gonna see here. Keith, I love your channel. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for being here. Jack Cocciarella does. I don't know why people keep bringing up Jack. Mamdani said he would meet with anyone. Mamdani isn't afraid of the big orange. Nope. Play video games on Twitch. You do not want me playing any games. I mean, I play Fortnite. I am terrible at it. I cannot build for shit on Fortnite, okay? But I do like playing it. But me live streaming that would be fun. Like, if you enjoy seeing people excel, then you would hate watching me live stream video games. Dark Sunray has been a member for 15 months. Holy shit, that's almost the entire time I've had this channel. We gotta get some W's in the chat for Dark Sunray. Holy shit. Thank you for being here for so long. Wow. Keith, you're best no matter what these judgmental folks say. Love your live streams. Thank you for making this a trustworthy adventure and an adventure. Well, thank you for being here. Truly, that is incredible that you've been supportive this whole time. That makes me feel very, very loved. So thank you. Keith, where did you get your hat? I love it. And your green jacket. Okay, this hat is from the store in New York called AMD. I don't know how to say it, but it's from a store in New York. It says it here, Ames Leon Dior. And the hat actually, or the jacket I actually bought in Paris when I visited there last spring. And I'm not gonna be able to know how to pronounce that, but it was certainly a very nice gift I gave myself. So, Keith, you're doing a hell of a job fighting the good fight. Thank you, Bob Zombie. Instead of Rob Zombie, Bob Zombie, for the $10. And thank you for fighting with me. We're all fighting together, truly. I wonder about this cap like forever. Yeah, I get all my news from Keith. You're amazing and cute. Thank you so much. Catherine says, you and a few others are really good about saying what your content is going to be. I liked one news source, but they kept saying Trump said, and it would end up not being literally Trump. Oh, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. When do you think they may come out? How long do these meetings typically last? All right. Here is what I think is going to happen is that I think that, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how, like, what does Trump do all day? Do you know what I mean? Like, what does he do all day? So I feel like Trump doesn't have like, it's not like the biggest schedule, you know? Like, I don't think he's like packed. I don't think he's got like 15 minutes to deal with Ukraine, 20 minutes with Mamdani, going into like, you know, how are we going to fight affordability? I don't think that's his schedule. Okay. I think the president's schedule is pretty loose. So my guess would be is that Donald Trump is meeting with Mamdani. He's going to see how he likes it. And if they have a good rapport or if he feels like there's something there, they might open up to press. But I don't know how long it's going to last. It could last 30 minutes. Could last an hour. We actually just don't know. We don't know. Executive time. Exactly. Like Trump is not doing a lot right now. Okay. But we are monitoring this situation to see if Mamdani appears. And what is definitely going to happen is that Mamdani is going to come out of the West Wing and he's going to talk to press. So we'll see that as it happens. And then we did have, I feel like someone taught me that there's a way to show, like all the people who've donated, but maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, we're like learning together. I feel like there was a button. Yes. Here it is. Fan funding. Okay. So, someone just gave $5. Thank you, Mitchell Woods. Is this really happening, or Taco Weasel's way out of the meeting true? No, this is happening right now. Like, Mamdani is in the White House right now. So it is happening. It's just closed pressed at the moment, but at any moment they could invite press in. And so we are here waiting to see what happens. And thank you to everyone who has given money. It's very, I feel even weird just saying given money, but donated. Donating feels weird too. Who has generously offered their support monetarily. I'll say that. But thank you. That does mean a lot. Well, Mamdani, so someone said, I wish Mamdani wouldn't do this in private. Rose's Sweet says that. And I agree, but he doesn't get a choice. This is Donald Trump who is deciding that Mamdani, I think it's very interesting to me that Donald Trump he said to himself, I don't want to be upstaged by this young, charismatic Democrat. So let's just do this closed press. And if I feel like I've got some sort of upper hand here, we'll open it up. But that to me is a really interesting outcome of all of this. Is it Trans Remembrance Day? Oh, it was yesterday. Well, happy Trans Remembrance Day. I'm sorry I missed that. I did not know that. Happy Trans Remembrance Day. Or do you say happy, or how do you say it? Maybe it's not happy, but it's, I wish you, I don't know how you say to someone who is, what is the word? Who is like, this is what it's like when I don't have editors. I hang on a word. What's it like when you like honor a day, but whatever it is. Jacqueline says, what I like about you, Keith, is you're straight up and factual with your stories, and you seem to be able to have a hearty laugh at the ridiculous stuff happening. Well, thank you, Jacqueline. I mean, I do think that one of the joys of this channel for me has been be able to create this community of people who aren't afraid of looking at the problem dead on, but also understand that the problem is being created by a bunch of clowns. So we stare at the mess, but we also don't dwell on it. We laugh at it. And I think that's an important way to cope with what's happening. Protect trans people. Okay, I'll say that. Oh, they're live.
I'm anxious about it.
As you're talking, we're getting quite an image. Let's listen. This is Zohran Mamdani and President Trump.
One thing in common, we want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. Anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York. And we've got them down, way down from last year. We have, as you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York, good for everybody. But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am, I will say. There's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president, I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I've got a question for you, and then also
questions. Yes.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question, and on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot.
Bro, he's such a bitch. He's such a bitch. Can't say it to his face.
Quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people. Actually,
bitch.
He won't surprise them because they already like him.
And Mr. Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said you'd be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views, and what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting.
It is. This is crazy.
We get to working together. Yes, please.
Mr. President, Mamdani from MTV Lebanon.
Good.
I would like to ask you a question about the Middle East regarding
Sure.
you said that Hezbollah in Lebanon is not in a good position. And Lebanon now is the final unresolved after Gaza and Syria. Given your assessment, like, what do you say for the Lebanese today as the independent state in Lebanon? And what is your next move to push toward disarmament? The disarmament
Sure.
of Hezbollah?
Well, we are pushing for total disarmament of Hamas and, frankly, everybody else.
All right, it was an Israel question.
He says, you know, the King of Saudi Arabia just left yesterday. We had some great meetings, and he's made a contribution toward the United States of more than $1 trillion. We have now over $20 trillion coming in. No country has ever had anything like that, not even close. If you go to 2 trillion or 1 trillion, it's a lot. We have 20 or $21 trillion.
Can we get some oink oinks in the chat? Oink oink for this piggy.
There's been a problem in Lebanon, big problem. We're working with Lebanon.
Oink,
we're working
oink.
with everybody in the Middle East. That's another thing I think we have in common. We want to see peace in the Middle East. And we actually have now, for the first time, peace in the Middle East after 3,000 years. And now we're going to refine it. And I think you're going to see some very positive things happen.
There is a potential to invite the Lebanese president to meet you to the White House.
I would do that, absolutely. And if the mayor would like to be here for that meeting, because I know he feels very strongly. I think you feel very, very strongly about peace in the Middle East.
We desperately want it, and that's something that I shared with the president, that when I spoke to New Yorkers who had voted for the president last November on Hillside Avenue and Fordham Road, I asked them why. I heard again and again 2 major reasons. One was that they wanted an end to forever wars. They wanted an end to the taxpayer dollars we had funding violations of human rights, and they wanted to address the cost of living crisis. And I appreciated the chance to discuss both of those things.
He said a lot of my voters actually voted for him, and I'm
1 in 10.
And I'm okay with that.
I have this hat as well.
I'll do that. I'll sign it. Give it to me. I'll sign it.
Oh my God. A reporter asking for a hat to get signed is so unprofessional. Are you fucking kidding me?
To New York City, you both have differences when it comes to ICE agents in New York City. Mr. Mamdani, you've called ICE a rogue government.
Y'all, this is fascinating. This is fascinating. I'm loving this.
Both of those issues.
Well, I think we're going to work them out. And I think that if we have known murderers and known drug dealers and some very bad people, we want to get them out. And the mayor wants to have peace. We discussed this at great length, actually, maybe more than anything else. He wants to have a safe New York. Ultimately, a safe New York is going to be a great New York. If it's not safe, no matter how well we do with pricing and with anything else, we can talk about anything you want. If you don't have safe streets, it's not going to be a success. So we're going to work together. We're going to make sure that if there are horrible people there, we want to get them out. I think he wants to get them out maybe more than I do. So we'll work together. We discussed it at great length. Yes, please.
Yeah, two questions, if I may. One for you, Mr. President, on the BBC in a second. But first of all, for the mayor-elect, you're both from different parts of the political spectrum. You're both populists, though, and I just wonder to what extent the president's campaign style, his techniques, his social media use inspired any part of your campaign.
Well, I actually told the president that, so much of the focus of our campaign has been on the cost of living crisis. And when we asked those New Yorkers who had voted for the president, when we saw an increase in his numbers in New York City, that came back to the same issue: cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. And they spoke about the cost of groceries, the cost of rent, the cost of Con Ed, the cost of childcare. And too often politicians are looking to lecture to New Yorkers what they should care about as opposed to listen. And when we spoke to those voters who voted for President Trump, we heard them speak about cost of living. We focused on that same cost of living, and that's where I am really looking forward to delivering for New Yorkers in partnership with the president on the affordability agenda.
And if I may, you told me we have to work a little bit. We talked about Con Edison. We have to work a little bit on getting the prices because, we've gotten fuel prices way down, but it hasn't shown up in Con Edison. And we're going to have to talk to them. If we're sending them fuel at a much lower price than it was a year ago, which is true, we have to get Con Edison to start lowering the rates.
Absolutely.
And if I may, last week you told me you were pushing ahead with your plans to sue the BBC for up to $5 billion. You're going to speak to Prime Minister Starmer as well. Is there any progress?
8,000 people in this chat. Incredible. Thank you all so much for being here.
Minister, we made a deal with UK. I like him. He's a fine person. And, I think they have some big energy problems. They've got windmills all over the place. They're going to have to start using other methods because their energy is out of control. Talking about in the UK, it's out of control. And he's got that problem. He's got a big immigration problem, as you know, and he's got a big energy problem. And we talk about it. He's a good man. Prime Minister's a good man.
You have a chance to speak this week.
I haven't spoken this week.
Mr. President, have you spoken to President Zelensky, or do you intend to meet with him, President Zelensky, about your plan? Are you going to meet with him?
I've spoken with their people. We have a plan. It's horrible what's happening. It's a war that should have never happened. It would have never happened if I was president, and it's a shame. And I thought they should have acted quicker. But it's a cold winter, and a lot of the you talk about utilities, but a lot of the big energy-producing plants have been under attack, to put it mildly, to put it nicely. We have a way of getting peace, or we think we have a way of getting peace. He's going to have to approve it. Just so sad, so many people. Last month they lost 25,000 soldiers. This is something, we haven't seen anything like this since the Second World War. And they're averaging 6,000 or 7,000 a week between the two of them, dead soldiers. And it goes on, and I think they're getting reasonably close. But I don't want to predict. I would have said that would have been one of my early ones. I did 8 peace deals of countries, including in India, Pakistan. You could even go, in fact, they're coming here in a week or two, go to the Congo and Rwanda. That was 10 million people dead, and we worked something out on that. But so many. And the one I thought would have been, for me, because I have a very good relationship with President Putin, I thought that would have been maybe quicker. But it does take 2 to tango. And now you just see all the death. And, it doesn't affect us other than the fact that we don't want to see all those people that really, it's on the other side of the ocean. It's a war that should have never happened. It did happen. I blame the person also sitting right behind this desk. this is a war that should have never happened, and it wouldn't have happened if I were president. But we're trying to save a lot of lives. They're losing 25,000 lives over the last short period of time. That's Ukrainian and Russian, and it's a shame.
I want to ask the mayor-elect about a House resolution. It just passed overwhelmingly to condemn socialism, including with 86 Democrats, all of House Dem leadership, and the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, despite his endorsement of you. What's your reaction to that?
I have to be honest with you, I focused very little on resolutions. Frankly, I've been focusing.
Yes.
I understand. I think the focus is on the work at hand. I can tell you I am someone who is a democratic socialist. I've been very open about that. And I know there might be differences about ideology, but the place of agreement is the work that needs to be done to make New York City affordable. That's what I look forward to.
And I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes. Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
And Mr. President, I wanted to ask...
Trump was like, "This, don't worry about it. Who cares what you said about me?"
President Zelensky said today that his country would risk either giving up a partner or giving up its dignity. There's been criticism that this deal proposal...
He doesn't like it?
It's unclear. He was sort of tenuous about it.
He'll have to like it, and if he doesn't like it, then they should just keep fighting, I guess.
The suggestion that he made, though, was that if he doesn't accept it, that the U.S. would pull back its support for Ukraine. Is that accurate?
At some point, he's going to have to accept something. He hasn't accepted. You remember right in the Oval Office not so long ago, I said, "You don't have the cards." Don't forget, I inherited this war. This war never would have happened. I inherited this war. And I thought he should have made a deal a year ago, 2 years ago. The ultimate deal would have been if it never started. That would have been the good deal.
I'm refreshing it because the sound was too out of sync.
Right president, but you didn't have the right president.
Mr. President, the cost of living is something that you and Mr. Mamdani seem to agree on. Democrats have run New York City for a long time, Mr. Mamdani. Do you see Democrat policy specifically as being a problem? And I'd like that.
Democratic policies. It's an adjective.
There are many things in our city where we have to own the responsibility of it, things that existed long before the president was the president. And those are also part of the message of our campaign, was to take on a broken politics of the past. And I ran against a number of candidates who represented different versions of that past. And what we found time and again is that working people were left behind in the politics of our city. And what we're looking to do is put those people right back at the heart of our politics so that we don't have a situation where we're in the wealthiest city in the history of the world, and yet 1 in 5 can't even afford $2.90 for a Metro card.
Mr.
President, we had some interesting conversation, and some of his ideas really are the same ideas that I have. But a big thing on cost, the new word is affordability. Another word is just groceries. It's sort of an old-fashioned word, but it's very accurate. And they're coming down high. They were. We had, both of us, we had the highest inflation in the history of our country the last 4 years under the Biden administration. And we've got inflation down now to a normal number. It's going to go even a little bit lower than that. Katie, do you have something?
Mr. President, thank you so much. Mr. Mamdani often talks about New York City being covered by international law, that they will follow international law. Doesn't often talk about the U.S. Constitution. What is your response to that?
Well, I don't know what you're referring to in terms of it can be covered by international law, local law. It's covered by a lot of laws, but it's covered by U.S. law. Are you referring to anything in particular?
He just says that they're a city that endorses and enforces international law. Is that at odds with the U.S. law at all?
Would you want to respond?
Yeah, I think what I've shared with the president is our desire to not only follow the laws.
Is it just me, or does Trump seem like a bitch? It seems like Mamdani's got him wrapped around his finger. He seems like they're besties now. It's crazy. This is crazy to me. Trump is the easiest person to play.
I spoke about how the laws that we have in New York City allow for New York City government to speak to the federal administration for about 170 serious crimes. The concerns that many New Yorkers have are around the enforcement of immigration laws on New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, and most recently we're talking about a mother and her 2 children, how this has very little to do with what that is.
Mr. Mamdani,
What we did is we discussed crime. More than ICE per se, we discussed crime. And he doesn't want to see crime, and I don't want to see crime. And I have very little doubt that we're not going to get along on that issue. He wants to, and he said some things that were very interesting as to housing construction, and he wants to see houses go up. He wants to see a lot of houses created, a lot of apartments built, etc. And you know, we actually people would be shocked, but I want to see the same thing.
Mr. Mamdani, anti-Israel protesters.
Yeah,
Mr. President, I wanted to know one of the policies as well that Mayor-elect Mamdani talked a number of times about on the campaign was shifting the tax burden for property taxes from what he called minority communities to white-based communities and putting more taxes on white people. I also noticed that in your acceptance speech you didn't mention
That's not a real reporter. That's an influencer.
White people in general, and so I didn't know if that was one of the policies that you guys had spoken about.
We focused on affordability. We focused on the cost of living crisis. What I will say is that I am very much interested in property tax reform because what we see right now in New York City is a system that is so inequitable that it can't even stand up in court. And the president and I spoke about the importance of not only building more housing, but also making sure that regulation of housing is something that is manageable to actually get through and not the cause of yet another weight that we see in our
But to
city.
be clear, you're continuing this idea of race-based property taxes.
No, to be very clear,
That's what you said.
No, the use of the term was a description of neighborhoods, not a description of intent.
So you intend to tax the whiter neighborhoods more?
No, we intend to create a fair property tax system because we want a New York City that is not only fair and equitable, but also one that every New Yorker can afford.
Bro, this guy is talented as shit.
Mr. Mamdani, anti-Israel protesters just targeted a synagogue in New York. Are you concerned about Jewish New Yorkers feeling welcome and safe in the city? And President Trump, you've threatened to cut off federal funding to New York City. What policies would prompt you to do that? Would that be city-run grocery stores? Would it be something else?
Well, I think if we didn't get along, whether it's cut off or just make it a little bit difficult or not give as much, we want to see, I use the term, we don't want good money going after bad. And we don't want that to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I did say, you know, subject to what policies are being set. We had a meeting today that actually surprised me. He wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built. He wants to see rents coming down, all things that I agree with. Now, we may disagree how we get there. The rent coming down, I think one of the things I really gleaned very much today, he'd like to see him come down, ideally, by building a lot of additional housing. Yeah. That's the ultimate way. He agrees with that, and so do I. But if I read the newspapers and the stories, I don't hear that. But I heard him say it today, and I think that's a very positive step. No, I don't expect. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help, because I want New York City to be.
I am so befuddled. Didn't Donald Trump say, like, if this guy becomes mayor, I'm going to take over the city? This guy's such a bitch. He's sitting next to him. Now, I've had this experience where someone's a piece of shit to you online and you meet them in person and suddenly they're very nice. That is Donald Trump.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. President. You're a billionaire. You have a different address nowadays than you used to, but you used to call New York City home. Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would. Especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I think I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job. You know, he may have different views, but in many ways, you know, we were discussing when Bernie Sanders was out of the race, I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had no idea because he was strong on not getting ripped off in trade and lots of the things that I've practiced and been very successful on. Tariffs, a lot of things. Bernie Sanders and I agreed on much more than people thought. And when he was put out of the race, I think quite unfairly, if you want to know the truth, many of the Bernie Sanders voters voted for me. And I felt very comfortable, frankly, in seeing that and saying that. And, you know, it just turned out to be a statistical truth. But No, I feel very comfortable. I would feel very, very comfortable being in New York, and I think much more so after the meeting. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a question for you, but a very quick one for the mayor. Why did you fly here? Aren't trains greener?
I'll use every form of transit, and I want to make sure that they're all affordable in New York City, and that's why making buses fast and free is a centerpiece of our campaign.
There is a bus that goes.
Well, I know, but if you flew, that's a lot quicker too. No.
Your time is
he's working very hard. For him to be, that's a very long drive. I'll stick up for you. You know, the plane takes you 30 minutes and driving takes you a
And
long
Mr.
time.
President, I was wondering if you could clear up some confusion around a Washington Post.
Trump's pro-Mamdani.
Coast Guard is no longer going to characterize swastikas and nooses as hate symbols. DHS called that a lie and fake news. Can you clear up?
I don't know anything about it. When was this written?
I think yesterday.
Well, look, the Coast Guard's an incredible group of people. I know them very well. We just ordered a lot of new Coast Guard cutters. Beautiful, the most magnificent ship. They look like yachts with lots of guns on them. So I don't know. I haven't seen any report like that, but certainly we want them to remain a great force, and they are.
Mr. President, peacemaker, and you did the peace in all the 9 months around the world. I would like to ask Mr. Mamdani, you've
not this fucking queen. I cannot. He wanted his hat signed.
Why that?
I've spoken about the Israeli government committing genocide, and I've spoken about our government funding it. And I shared with the president in our meeting about the concern that many New Yorkers have of wanting their tax dollars to go towards the benefit of New Yorkers and their ability to afford basic dignity. And what we see right now is we're in the 9th consecutive year of more than 100,000 school children being homeless in our city. And there's a desperate need not only for the following of human rights, but also the following through on the promises we've made New Yorkers. And I appreciated the meeting we had and the work that we can do.
Do you agree that President Trump did do a peace and he worked hard to make the peace? Because he worked hard to do the peace in the Middle East and everywhere. Do you agree with that?
I appreciate all efforts towards peace, and I shared with President Trump that when I spoke to Trump voters on Hillside Avenue, including one of whom was a pharmacist that spoke about how President Trump's father actually went to that pharmacy not too far from Jamaica Estates, that people were tired of seeing our tax dollars fund endless wars. And I also believe that we have to follow through on the international human rights, and I know that still today those are being violated, and that continues to be work that has to be done no matter where we're speaking of.
Mr. President,
question for Mr.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do you view the mayor-elect as the true leader of the Democrat Party? And do you think Leader Schumer's and Leader Jeffries, have to follow his lead?
Well, look, I hope they have great leaders. This is a man that right now I think is focused in New York City. I really think he has a chance to do a great job. We're going to help him. But I really think he has a chance to do a great job. But I'll let you answer that. You consider yourself the leader of the Democrats. I think it's more appropriate for him.
I consider myself the next mayor of New York City, and I keep my horizons firmly on New York City. And I appreciate the meeting with the president, which focused again on the 5 boroughs and whether New Yorkers could afford.
This is crazy.
New York City is a big deal.
Absolutely.
I always said, one of the things I would have loved to be someday is the mayor of New York City. Being the mayor of New York, and especially now, because I think you're at really a turning point, one way or the other. It could go great, or it can go in a different direction. And I think you really have a chance to make it great.
Mr. President, you said you love New York City. Mr. Mamdani, does New York City love President Trump?
New York City loves a future that is affordable. And I can tell you that there were more New Yorkers who voted for President Trump in the most recent presidential election because of that focus on cost of living. And I'm looking forward to working together to deliver on that affordability agenda.
This guy is slick as shit. Holy shit.
The press has eaten this thing up. I've had a lot of meetings with the heads of major countries. Nobody cared. This meeting that you people have gone crazy. Outside you have hundreds of people waiting. This is just a small little group. For some reason, the press has found this to be a very interesting meeting. The biggest people in the world, they come over from countries nobody cares. But they did care about this meeting, and it was a great meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. President, I was going to ask exactly that. Why do you think there's so much more, so much excitement around this than even some foreign leaders?
Because I think he's different. All right, I think he's different, and that can be in a very positive way. But I think he's different than, your typical guy runs, wins, becomes mayor maybe, and nothing exciting. Because he has a chance to really do something great for New York. New York is at a very critical point, and he does need the help of the federal government to really succeed. And we're going to be helping him. But he's different than, your average candidate. He came out of nowhere. I said, he has a great campaign manager standing over there. He came out of nowhere. What'd you start off at 1 or 2? And then I watched. I said, who is this guy? He was at 1, then he was at 3, then he was at 5, then he was at 9. Then he went up to 17. I said, let's get a little bit interesting, right? And then all of a sudden,
Grandpa's loose. Grandpa's loose. I think this guy is just honestly demented. I don't think he knows what's going on.
I mean, it's an amazing thing that he did.
He seems drugged up.
I'll just add one thing to what the president said. Is one thing I also appreciated is in our meeting to appreciate a portrait of FDR and the incredible work that was done with the New Deal, and also in thinking about what it can look like when the federal government and New York City government work together to deliver on affordability. It can be transformative.
We have a great portrait of FDR that I found in the vaults that was missing for years. I found it, and I put it up. He's a Democrat, to the best of my knowledge. He's a Democrat. And when the mayor saw that portrait, he said, "Sir, do you mind if I have a picture taken by that portrait?" It's an amazing portrait. I hope the picture comes out good. But it's an amazing portrait in the cabinet room. So he's a big fan of the New Deal, I guess, and of FDR. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said that you both spoke about crime.
Yeah.
There are many police officers set to come off the rolls at the end of this year in New York City. Are you going to allow those police to be replaced with police officers, actual cops? And are you going to require that happens? Would there be some consequence if the
Well, I hope
staff...
it happens, but again, that's going to be ultimately the mayor's decision.
What's your answer?
Is that I look forward to delivering public safety with the NYPD, and I've said over the course of our campaign that we have the number of police officers today. They are the ones that's budgeted about 35,000 headcount. And I think the key thing is that we have to make it easier for police to focus on police work, not ask them to respond to 200,000 mental health calls a year.
So is that a reduction from what you're at right now? Are you committing to maintaining the same level of cops?
I've committed over the course of the campaign to maintain the 35,000. That's the headcount that we had through the campaign.
And not replace them with caseworkers, social workers?
No, I've said that's the headcount that we want. What we need to do is make sure they can focus on serious crime.
And he just retained a great police commissioner, I believe, right?
Yes, we did. Commissioner Tisch.
If the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
He retained, I think, somebody that is she's a good friend of some of the people in my family, of Ivanka, and they say she's really good, really competent, and he just retained her, so that's a good sign.
Mr. President, are there still topics that you see the two of you disagreeing on in the future? And do you think you'll have more meetings like this?
There will be topics that we disagree on. I think we'll probably come to a conclusion, and ultimately he'll convince me, or I'll convince him. It's for the good of New York. Ultimately, it's for the good of New York. I don't care about affiliations or parties or anything else. I want to see if this city could be unbelievable, if he could be a spectacular success, I'd be very happy.
Do you think you guys will meet more in the future, too?
Too?
Do you think you'll meet again in the future, throughout the administration?
I think we will. I hope we do. I enjoyed the meeting. We had a great meeting. Please.
Mr. President, Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Zohran.
This is crazy. I think Trump has given Mamdani the Bubba. This is the Bubba. He's getting the Bubba treatment.
You say things sometimes in a campaign.
Isn't that sort of divisive?
She's a very capable person.
Isn't
But
that kind of
you really have to ask her about that. But I don't particularly. I think I met with a man who's a very rational person. I met with a man who really wants to see New York be great again. And I can say again, because New York was great. When I came down to Washington initially, the city was so hot. It was doing great. We were having some telltale signs of problems. We had a mayor that was not doing a great job, but still, it was moving along. And it went bad. It really went, pretty bad. And he can, I think it's been at lower points, but
I can't get over it.
I think he can bring it back. Now, the question is, will he bring it back all the way? Will he bring it back greater than ever before, which is, I guarantee, that's his wish. I think he wants to make it greater than ever before. And if he can, we'll be out there cheering. I'll be cheering for him. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
Wow.
The question about the synagogue protest
What the fuck?
Now I've seen everything. Hi again, everybody. You've been watching Donald
What
Trump.
the fuck? Did we make that up? Did we make it up? Holy shit. All right. First off, we gotta, before we get into anything else, we got to say one thing. Here it is. Okay. Someone gave $100. Sains, thank you for the $100. I was looking forward to seeing you posting. I love your reporting. As a freelance journalist and graphic artist, I'd love to be part of your team. In the meantime, keep reading. Thank you, Sains. Thank you so much for the $100. Let's get some W's in the chat for that. That was fucking nuts. Okay, so God, okay, I'll just go to me. Okay, so here is what I want to say about that. Is that politics aside, would we not agree it is at least good that they're getting along? Okay? I think it's net good that they're getting along. Sure. And it's another example of Donald Trump doesn't mean a fucking thing he says. And he just likes whoever glazes him up, he's best friends with. And I wish our politics could be more like that. Like, I wish Donald Trump wasn't a piece of shit who says one day, hey, let's execute some Democrats. And the next day he was like, I just want the best for Mamdani in New York. And I think New York's going to be fine. I wish we could just get more of that version of Trump and less of the piece of shit who posts online. But regardless, I thought net good. I mean, I'm glad that they were getting along. That's not a bad thing. Now, the thing with Trump is we don't fucking know if that's going to last for more than a day. He could still send in the military in a month. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he says in person. It doesn't matter what he says online. You never know what this fucking guy says is true. Okay? But the hopeful thing about it was like, all right, well, for a brief moment in time, the president of the United States wasn't being a piece of shit to someone. Okay? And yeah, and let's just give like a round of applause to Zohran Mamdani, who I don't know who gave him. I don't know if it was just an innate talent, if he just knew how to get on Trump's good side, but Zohran, for whatever reason, was able to very quickly get Trump on his side. And that is just, that really, to me, more than anything, this press conference showed to me that Zohran Mamdani is like a generational talent. We were very lucky to have him in the party, and who knows where he's going, but it's only going to be to like bigger and better places. That was incredible. And the way that he was like, I am so bad. I've done interviews. I am so bad at not answering. Like when someone asks you a question, it's actually incredibly hard to say what you want to say and not answer their question. And he got many direct questions that were kind of shitty. And he, like, for instance, is New York City for Donald Trump? And he's like, New York City's for affordability. Like, really good stuff. Wow. Well, that was fascinating. All right, let's look at the chat. I kind of want to know what Twitter's saying. Like, is Twitter also freaking out? This is like where I need a producer, because a producer could be handing me tweets to read. But let's just go to the chat. Let's go to the chat. Chat. Okay. Let's go to the chat. I don't trust Trump at all. Zohran has a true gift. That was not good. I don't know why you would say that's not good. I mean, it was not bad. I think it was good. Keith, were there 11K watching us? I missed that. Wow. Oh, there's 10,000 people right now? Holy shit. Wow. Okay. I mean, it's y'all moment. Y'all have anything to say? I'm going to read your thing. Trump family just started buying affordable housing. Just saying. Okay. Interesting. I see him running for president in 2028. Oh, I think it's going to be a ways from then. But he's definitely thinking about the fact that he could be a presidential candidate one day. That is for sure. That is for sure. That was a good meeting. I'm late getting on. Lori, Lori is late. Lori, if there was ever a time to be on time, that time was today. Lori, you have just missed the craziest shit I have ever seen. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Oh my God, Laura Loomer's freaking out. Laura Loomer. Oh, okay, let's go to. Oh God, okay. It would be nice to see the admin not give Mamdani a total pass for his support of Islamic terrorism and incitement of hatred against white people and non-Muslims. Oh God. She's so mad. She's so mad. Wild to see a jihadist stand to the president. Sad to see. Oh my God. She really is in her feelings. Okay, well, this is awesome. Officially a good day. Officially a good day. Oh, Twitter, are you going to do that thing where like I can't click? Okay, there we go. Oh my God, I didn't know that's what it was said. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist? Mamdani, I've spoken about Trump. That's okay. You can just say yes. I don't mind. Because he is a fascist. He is a fascist. Wow, that's a fucking crazy way to handle that. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Trump is being nicer to Mamdani than Democratic leadership was. Wow. Wow. Let us just meditate on that for one moment. Let us just meditate on that for one moment, because that is a factual statement. That Trump was nicer to him than Chuck Schumer ever was. What's that about? Jesus Christ. That is so backwards. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I guess he says it's hard to pay attention. Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Zohran Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to jihadists? No, I don't. Incredible. What an incredible moment. All right, let's go back to the chat. MAGA is calling for impeachment. Oh my God. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Democrats need younger, more progressive leaders. Apples and oranges, any mean person. Trump was constantly attacking Mamdani. Yeah, I mean, this goes to show that Donald Trump doesn't believe shit. He doesn't believe in shit. All right, let's just look for one more. All-timer. That's an all-timer. Screenshot it and post it. That is who really won this meeting? You know what I mean? It is worth noting that J.D. Vance reacted to the Mamdani meeting by joking that he might come down with a stomach bug today so he can miss it. Trump is a skilled politician. His vice president potential successor comes as aloof and snippy ideologue who struggles with human people. Mamdani W. MAGA, jihadist, Marxist, communist. He's going to ruin New York. Trump. I like NYC and want it to be amazing. The memes are so good. The memes are so good. I can't believe this shit. MAGA is going to be the ones pissed about this. Zohran spanked him. Oh, friends. Oh, friends. Life is full of surprises, isn't it? Isn't it? All right. I am probably going to do a video on this because I think it deserves its separate video. Maybe not. I don't know. That was incredible. Thank you for watching this with me. Thank you for experiencing history with me. If you're watching the recap, you can hit subscribe and then you can be notified whenever I go live. I am going to go home now and do what? Put on green makeup. Why? Because I am a Wicked super fan and I am seeing the movie tonight. I am so fucking excited. No good deed goes unpunished. I cannot wait to see that movie. I cannot wait to see the song. I can't wait to hear I can't wait to see the movie and hear the song. Any Wicked fans watching, we are kindred spirits. I am so excited. I don't know how to put on makeup. We will see if I am actually going to do a good job. But I do want to wear, I had this vision. I was like, it'd be really funny to show up to the movie theater in full green makeup. So I Googled the best makeup to put on, but I don't know. I think I'm probably going to do a fucking terrible job, but I'm going to do it. Should I do a video in the green makeup? Maybe. No, I don't know if I can because everything's so serious. If I'm like in green makeup and I do like a Burger King news video on something, probably not great. But I'm very, 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 very excited to see Wicked. This is the first musical I fell in love with when I was in 2003, when I was like 18. So I've always loved that musical. Hey, just so you know, I'm a little bit of a theater kid. Not like I used to be, but I've always had a place in my heart for theater. I'm sure most people who find themselves in front of the camera often do have a kindred spirit with. Wait. Everyone's saying, yes, you should. You've earned it. Take pics. Yes, you need to do it. Yes, shave first. Do what you feel like doing. Do a video in green makeup. Please be green. Oh my God. Okay, maybe I'll do it. We'll see how the green looks. I'll take a picture for sure. Yes, I'm 40. I'm 40 years old. Yes, I'm 40. Everyone, yeah, I'm 40 and I'm gay. No one ever knows that. I'm 40 and I'm gay. Okay? I'm 40 and I'm gay. I'm going to tattoo it on I'm going to get a shirt. I'm 40 and I'm gay. And I'm single. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, I am going to go prepare for that now, I guess. So that was fun. It's fun live streaming with you. I enjoy doing that. So thank you for being here with me. That's very fun. It's very fun to do. I love the instant. The thing that's hard about doing YouTube is that it's kind of paradoxical where I'm talking to millions of people, but I'm literally in this room by myself. So it's nice to live stream because it feels like I'm not alone. You know, not that I'm ever alone, but it feels like, it's nice to have a shared experience. So thank you for being here with me for that. As I said, I'm going to go watch Wicked tonight. I hope you have an amazing Friday. Thank you all so much for being here, for watching, for subscribing, for liking the videos, commenting. It all means so much. I wish I could respond to each and every one of you, but know that I am so grateful. And I have nothing but I just take this responsibility very seriously. So thank you for being here. And I'm going to see you all soon. Okay? And you should go see Wicked. I'm sure it's great. I've heard it's good. Okay? Okay. And